Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in Surah Al-Talaq, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم, بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم, ومن يتق الله يجعل له مخرجا ويرزقه من حيث لا يحتسب ومن يتوكل على الله فهو حسبه. We reflect on the meaning of this ayat. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, من يتق الله, who will observe Allah and knows that Allah is watching, يجعل له مخرجا, will give him a way out from any problem. ويرزقه من حيث لا يحتسب, and will provide from him from where he doesn't expect. ومن يتوكل على الله فهو حسبه, and he who relies on Allah, Allah will be enough for him. Then the next ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مِنْ أَمْرِهِ يُسْرًا. Who observes Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make everything easy for him. وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يُكَفِّرْ عَنْهُ سَيِّئَاتِهِ وَيُعَزِّمْ لَهُ أَجْرًا. And he who observes Allah, يُكَفِّرْ عَنْهُ سَيِّئَاتِهِ, will forgive his sins and will reward him much more. Subhanallah. This is the taqwa, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing a taqwa. And a lot of people translate a taqwa as the fear of Allah. And this is a very, very small, narrow explanation of what taqwa Allah is. Taqwa Allah is to know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watching you and observing you all the time. And out of this respect, you do the right thing and avoid the wrong thing. SubhanAllah. As we know in Surah Al-Hashr, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا اتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَلْتَنْظُرْ نَفْسٌ مَا قَدَّمَتْ لِغَدٍ. Observe Allah and watch what you're preparing for tomorrow. وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ إِنَّ اللَّهَ خَبِيرٌ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ. And observe Allah, for Allah knows what you do. If we were to replace a taqwa with fear Allah, does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us twice in the same ayah, fear me? Why is it the concept of fear that we Muslims live in? We have to live in fear, rather than know and do the right thing. So it couldn't mean fear Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not telling us twice in one ayah to fear Him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying to observe Him and do the right thing, because when we do the right thing, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give us all these things. And if we go again through the list, يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا, a way out from all his problems. يَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبْ, provide from where he doesn't expect. And يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مِنْ أَمْرِهِ يُسْرًا, make everything easy for him and forgive his sins and reward him much more. Subhanallah. All this is from taqwa Allah. And if we look at everything we want in life, that's what we want. We want to find a way out of our problems. We want to have an easy life. We want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to provide for us. So all these things is through at-taqwa. That when we observe Allah, this is what we get in return. Subhanallah. And yet, you find a lot of us finding different ways to do these things. They lie, they cheat, they steal, all these things to get more. Rather than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us the easy way to get more and to get forgiveness and to be provided for. Subhanallah. So here, if some people choose to lie to get out of a problem, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, if you want to get out of a problem, اتَّقِ, be honest and be truthful. So there's two different ways. And subhanallah, most of us choose the wrong way. We have two different options, and most of the time the wrong option. Rather than say, اتَّقِ, to provide for me, we say maybe I should cheat or do something to provide more and get more risk. Subhanallah. So here in this ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is showing us the wonderful thing about taqwa Allah. And subhanallah, this ayat came in Surah Al-Talaq, where it describes in a divorce, and in a divorce Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that people should still observe Allah. Because in a divorce you hear either the man or the woman saying, I want to get more, I'm going to get everything out of him. Subhanallah. Where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, if you taqillah, you will get. And if you don't get out of the deal, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will provide you much more from somewhere else. Subhanallah. For taqwa Allah is the way out. Subhanallah.